My chosen one, pause everything and listen carefully, because what you are about to hear is not a coincidence. It is not random. It is not for the crowd. God is saying, this is only for you. What's coming in the next 7 minutes will shock you, but you must not share this with anyone. Listen to this now before the door closes. Open this quickly before it's too late. Don't skip God. Yes, this message is sealed with your name. There are thousands watching, but this is not for thousands. It is for one heart that has been crying silently at night. It is for one soul that has been asking, God, are you still there? It is for one person who feels the pressure building, the walls closing in, the time running out. And that one is you. Right now, in the spirit realm, something has shifted. A door that has been stuck for years is trembling. A hidden truth is about to surface. A delayed promise is about to knock loudly on your life. But here is the warning from heaven. This is not to be shared. Not because it is secret in a fearful way, but because it is sacred. There are seasons when God speaks publicly, and then there are moments when he whispers privately to those he trusts. This is that moment. You have been under spiritual observation, not in judgment, but in preparation. The battles you fought quietly, the tears you wiped before anyone saw them, the discipline you maintained when nobody applauded you, heaven recorded all of it. And now, the countdown has begun. 7 minutes in the spirit does not mean 7 minutes on the clock. It represents completion. It represents divine timing. It represents a cycle closing and another one opening with force. But here is the shock: the breakthrough you prayed for is coming in a form you did not expect. It will not look like the picture you imagined. It will not arrive through the person you thought. And when it appears, many around you will not understand it. That is why you must not share it. Not yet. Some blessings are fragile before they are fully formed. Just like a seed underground, if exposed too early, it can be damaged. God is saying, protect what I am about to give you. You have been feeling restless lately, haven't you? A strange pressure in your chest. A sense that something is about to happen. Random memories surfacing. Old connections trying to reappear. Sudden urges to clean, organize, release, detach. That is not random. That is preparation. Archangel Michael stands in the spiritual realm as a defender and protector of divine assignments. And right now, he is positioned around your destiny like a warrior at the gate. Because what is about to open for you has attracted attention, not only from heaven, but from forces that do not want you to step into it. But hear this clearly: the protection is stronger than the opposition. You almost gave up 3 times recently. 3 specific moments where you thought, maybe this is not meant for me. Yet something inside you refused to quit. That something was not just your willpower. It was divine preservation. And now God is asking you for one thing: obedience. Do not speak too soon. Do not celebrate too early. Do not reveal the strategy before the door fully opens. There is someone close to you who would not understand this shift. Not because they are evil, but because they are not aligned with your next level. And premature exposure can create unnecessary resistance. This is why the message says, open this quickly before it's too late. Because hesitation has been your weakness. You overthink. You delay. You wait for perfect confirmation. And sometimes, by the time you decide, the opportunity has already moved. This time must be different. The door that is opening will not stay open forever. Divine doors are powerful, but they respond to readiness. And readiness is proven by action. Within the next season, and it may begin sooner than you expect, A conversation will change everything. A message, a call, a sudden invitation. When it comes, it will feel ordinary on the outside, but your spirit will recognize it instantly. That is your 7-minute moment. Do not ignore it. Do not postpone it. Do not consult 10 people about it. Move. You have asked for acceleration. You have asked for restoration. You have asked for clarity. But acceleration requires courage. Restoration requires forgiveness. Clarity requires silence. And silence is your instruction right now. There is a reason this message feels intense. There is a reason your heart is beating slightly faster. There is a reason you felt compelled to click. Because heaven marked this moment. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. You are being positioned. The shock will not destroy you. It will liberate you. What feels like exposure will actually be alignment. What feels like loss will actually be divine exchange. And when the door closes behind you, it will not be loss. It will be separation from what was limiting you. Listen carefully. This is the last warning before movement begins. Guard your mouth. Guard your energy. Guard your next step. Because once this begins, there is no returning to the old version of you. The next 7 minutes, spiritually, are sacred. Stay aware. Stay ready. Stay aligned. Beloved soul, something is unfolding behind the curtain, and you can feel it even if you cannot explain it. Since you heard the first part of this message, your spirit had been stirred. You may have tried to distract yourself, but the words keep echoing. That is because this is not just information. This is activation. God is saying that the reason this message feels urgent is because you are standing at a spiritual intersection. One path leads to delay. The other leads to divine acceleration. And the difference between the two will be decided by how you respond in this very season. You have been praying for a sign. You have been asking for confirmation. But what if this is it? What if heaven has already spoken, and you are waiting for something louder? Sometimes God does not shout. Sometimes He sends a precise word at a precise moment, and only the one it is meant for will recognize it. There is a shift happening in your environment. People around you are changing. Conversations feel different. Even your tolerance for certain behaviors has lowered. You are no longer comfortable where you once settled. That discomfort is not confusion. It is elevation. Archangel Michael is described as a warrior, a protector of divine purpose. In this hour, his presence symbolizes that you are not fighting alone. There are battles you do not see that have already been handled on your behalf. Delays that could have blocked you were intercepted. Plans that were forming against your progress were dissolved before they reached you. This is why you must not take this moment lightly. The next 7 minutes, spiritually speaking, represent a window of alignment. And alignment requires separation. Some habits must fall away. Some attachments must loosen. Some conversations must end. Not with anger, not with drama, but with quiet authority. You have been too available to people who are not assigned to your next chapter. You have been explaining yourself to those who were never meant to understand you. And in doing so, you have drained energy that was supposed to fuel your breakthrough. God is saying, conserve your strength, protect your focus. What is coming requires clarity. Very soon, something will be revealed that will surprise you. It may be a hidden truth about someone's intentions. It may be an opportunity you thought had disappeared. It may even be a sudden redirection that initially feels uncomfortable. But do not panic when it happens. The shock is not meant to harm you. It is meant to position you. There is a door that has been quietly unlocking. You could not see it because you were looking at another one that refused to open. But heaven has been working on a different entrance altogether. And when it swings open, you will understand why the previous one remained closed. This is why you must move carefully. Do not announce your plans. Do not broadcast your next move. There is power in silence. There is strategy in discretion. When the time is right, what God is doing in your life will speak for itself. If this message is resonating with your spirit, do not keep it to yourself in silence. Engage with it. Like this video so it reaches the one who is also standing at their intersection. Share it with someone who needs divine clarity. Write in the comments what you are believing God for in this season. And if you have not already, subscribe to this channel and become part of this growing movement of faith. Your support helps this message travel where it is needed most. Join the membership if you feel led, and stand with this mission. When you interact, you are not just supporting content, you are amplifying a word that could shift someone's destiny. Because what happens next in your life will not just affect you. It will impact your family, your circle, your future. And you are closer than you think. There is a moment coming when you will have to make a decision quickly. It will not allow you weeks of analysis. It will require trust. And when that moment arrives, remember this feeling. Remember this stirring. Remember that you were warned, prepared, and positioned ahead of time. Heaven does not rush, but it does not wait forever either. The door is opening, but your obedience determines how you walk through it. And what is about to be revealed next will connect the final pieces in a way you never expected. Hold on to that thought, because what is coming will make everything clear. Faithful one, lean in closer, because what is being unveiled now carries weight. The atmosphere around you is not ordinary. There is a sacred tension building, like the silence before a major announcement. You have sensed it in subtle ways, a dream that felt too real, a sudden awareness about someone in your circle, an unexplainable pull to prepare for change. None of this is random. It is orchestration. God is saying that what is coming will shock you, not because it is destructive, but because it reveals what hath been hidden in plain sight. There has been a layer over your eyes, not placed there to deceive you, but to protect the timing. If you had known everything earlier, you might have reacted emotionally instead of strategically. Now you are ready. There is someone connected to your environment whose true alignment is about to be exposed. This exposure is not meant to create chaos. It is meant to create clarity. You have been feeling slight inconsistencies, subtle energy shifts, words that did not fully match actions. You questioned yourself. You wondered if you were overthinking. You tried to dismiss the discomfort, but your spirit was discerning correctly. Archangel Michael stands as a symbol of divine protection and truth cutting through illusion. In this hour, his presence represents the sword of clarity. What has been confusing will become simple. What felt complicated will suddenly make sense. And when the truth surfaces, you will realize that God was shielding you all along. This is why you were instructed not to share this message. When revelation comes, the natural reaction is to speak. But premature speech can dilute power. When you see what is revealed, breathe. Observe. Pray. Let heaven complete the exposure before you respond. The shock will not come with thunder. It may arrive through a small detail, a sentence spoken casually, a piece of information you were not meant to hear but did, a shift in tone that confirms everything. And in that moment, your spirit will whisper, "This is what I was warned about." Do not allow anger to guide you. Do not allow pride to push you into confrontation. There is strength in restraint. When truth is on your side, you do not need to fight loudly. God fights cleanly. You have been in a season of testing. Not testing to break you, but testing to mature you. The version of you from 2 years ago would have reacted impulsively. The version of you from last year might have cried in confusion. But the version of you now is steady, wiser, more anchored. This revelation will separate what is authentic from what is artificial in your life. Some relationships will naturally distance themselves. Some doors will quietly close. But what remains will be solid. What remains will be aligned. There is also a second layer to this shock. Alongside exposure, there will be opportunity. Often, when one thing leaves, another arrives quickly. God does not remove without replacing. As one connection fades, another divine connection prepares to step forward. As one path clears, another road becomes visible. But remember the instruction: silence. This is sacred movement. You are transitioning from survival to authority. Go questioning to knowing. From hoping to stepping. You may feel an emotional wave when this unfolds. That is normal. Allow yourself to process, but do not retreat. This is confirmation that you are crossing into a higher level of discernment. You asked God to show you the truth. Now He is. You asked God to remove what is not meant for you. Now He is. You asked for a door to open. But you did not realize another would need to close first. The next few days will feel different. Pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to repeated words or themes. Heaven often confirms through repetition. And when confirmation comes, you will feel peace beneath the shock. Peace is your indicator. If you feel chaos, pause. If you feel calm clarity, move. This is your moment of alignment. Not everyone will understand the quiet shift in you. Some will notice you pulling back. Some will feel you becoming less accessible. That is not arrogance. That is refinement. God is refining your circle, your focus, your future. The door mentioned earlier is closer than ever. But you cannot carry everyone into it. And you cannot drag old patterns into new spaces. Release with grace. Trust with courage. Move with discernment. Now, before this sacred instruction settles into your spirit, seal it with agreement. Type "I receive divine clarity" in the comments if this message confirms what you have been sensing. Blessing code 314 is now activated over your life. As this code is released, may clarity overflow like light breaking through a dark room. May every hidden truth surface at the perfect time. May every deceptive layer fall away without harming you. And now, hear this extension of the message, because obedience must flow into action. The same way God is exposing what is hidden in your life, He's also revealing this mission to souls who are searching. When you sow into fertile ground, harvest follows. Scripture declares, "Give, and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." This is not a distant promise. It is God speaking directly to you now. I feel led to say this clearly. I am stepping forward as part of this divine work. When you release a super thanks, join the membership, or send a seed through the PayPal link in the description, you are not funding content. You are fueling light. You are helping this word reach the one who is about to give up. You are placing oil in the lamp so it does not burn out. This is prophetic alignment. Do not miss the moment to act. As you sow, heaven records. As you give, doors respond. May every seed you release return as protection, provision, and peace over your household. Step into obedience. Support the mission. Activate the harvest. Precious one, the atmosphere has shifted again, and if you are sensitive in the spirit, you can feel that something irreversible has begun. After clarity comes repositioning. After exposure comes adjustment. And right now, you are standing in the middle of that adjustment phase. God is saying that what was revealed to you was not the end of the story. It was the beginning of your empowerment. When truth surfaces, it does not just remove illusion, it restores authority. You are no longer guessing. You are no longer doubting your discernment. You are seeing clearly, and that clarity changes how you move. There is a subtle but powerful transformation happening inside you. You are becoming quieter, but stronger. You are becoming less reactive, but more decisive. This is spiritual maturity unfolding in real time. The old version of you needed validation from others. A new version of you moves with inner confirmation. Archangel Michael's presence symbolizes more than protection in this season. It symbolizes courage. There is a warrior spirit rising within you, not to fight people, but to defend your destiny. You are no longer willing to tolerate what drains you. You are no longer willing to shrink to fit environments that have outgrown your calling. This next phase requires boundaries. Clear, firm, respectful boundaries. Not walls built from fear, but lines drawn from wisdom. You have learned the hard way that access is privilege, not entitlement. And not everyone who has been around you is meant to go where you are headed. Do not feel guilty for evolving. Growth sometimes feels like loss because it creates distance from what once felt familiar. But familiarity is not the same as alignment. Comfort is not the same as calling. There is a divine restructuring happening in your life. Certain routines will change. Your priorities will shift. You may even feel prompted to rearrange your physical space. These outward adjustments mirror the internal upgrade taking place. When heaven prepares you for expansion, it first reorganizes your foundation. You might notice that conversations that once excited you now feel shallow. Situations that once seemed urgent now appear insignificant. This is not arrogance. It is elevation. Your perspective is widening. And here is something crucial. Do not try to pull others up before you are fully stable in your new position. It is tempting to explain everything you have realized. It is tempting to rescue others from the same confusion you escaped. But every soul has its own timing. Focus on securing your footing first. God is strengthening your inner voice. That quiet knowing you felt before is becoming sharper. When something is off, you will sense it immediately. When something is right, you will feel peace quickly. Trust this refined discernment. It has been trained through experience. The door that was mentioned earlier is no longer just a possibility. It is approaching. You may start to see small indicators. A new opportunity that aligns perfectly with your skills. A conversation that opens a fresh direction. An idea that refuses to leave your mind. These are not coincidences. They are invitations. But remember, not every open door is the correct one. This is where discernment matters. Just because something looks attractive does not mean it is assigned to you. Ask yourself, does this align with the clarity I just received? Does it honor the boundaries I am establishing? Does it bring peace beneath the excitement? Peace is still your indicator. There is also a warning in this phase. After exposure, sometimes people attempt to regain influence. They may suddenly become kinder, more attentive, more supportive. But you must evaluate consistency, not temporary behavior. True change is steady, not dramatic. You are not being called to suspicion. You are being called to wisdom. Financial shifts may also begin in this season. Unexpected expenses or surprising opportunities could appear. Do not panic if adjustments are required. Sometimes resources are redirected before they multiply. Manage wisely. Avoid impulsive decisions. Stability now prepares you for abundance later. Emotionally, you may feel waves of reflection. You will replay past situations and see them differently. Instead of regret, allow gratitude. Those experiences train your discernment. They strengthen your resilience. They shape the authority you now carry. There is something powerful about this stage. You are no longer seeking signs desperately. You are recognizing patterns confidently. That is growth. God is not just opening a door for you. He is transforming you into someone capable of sustaining what is behind that door. Without this internal shift, the blessing could have overwhelmed you. And now, you are becoming ready to steward it. And here is the deeper truth. The shock that came earlier was necessary to detach you emotionally from what would have held you back. If everything had remained comfortable, you might have hesitated when the new path appeared. Discomfort created momentum. Do not rush this phase. Let it settle. Let the new boundaries become natural. Let the clarity solidify into conviction. Soon, a moment will come when you realize you are not who you were. The triggers that once controlled you will no longer have power. The approval you once chased will no longer define you. The fear that once delayed you will no longer dominate you. That is when you will know the transformation is complete. And when the next door opens fully, you will step through it not as someone desperate for change, but as someone prepared for destiny. Anointed one, there is a deeper layer unfolding now, and this is where many turn back because the transition feels unfamiliar. But you are not turning back. You have come too far to retreat into comfort. What you are experiencing is the narrowing of focus before expansion. God is saying that the silence around you is intentional. Some calls are not being returned. Some invitations are not coming. Some people seem distant. Do not misinterpret this as rejection. It is redirection. When heaven is preparing to elevate you, it reduces distractions first. You have entered a sacred pause. This pause is not punishment. It is positioning. It is the space between exposure and manifestation. The space where your character is solidified. The space where motives are purified. The space where you learn to be steady without applause. You may feel like things have slowed down, but spiritually, acceleration is building. Think of an arrow being pulled back before it is released. The tension does not mean failure. It means forces being gathered. Archangel Michael represents strategic warfare, not chaotic reaction. And that is the energy around you now. Strategic positioning. Every delay you faced recently had purpose. If certain plans had moved forward earlier, you would have stepped into them with incomplete clarity. Now you are sharper. There is also something happening within your confidence. It is no longer loud. It is not based on proving others wrong. It is rooted in quiet certainty. You know what you sensed was real. You know what was revealed was necessary. And you know you cannot go back to pretending. The next step requires faith without full visibility. You will not receive every detail in advance. God rarely reveals the entire blueprint. He gives the next instruction. And here is the next instruction. Strengthen your foundation. This may involve improving your skills, deepening your spiritual discipline, organizing your finances, or refining your daily routine. The opportunity that is approaching will demand structure. Chaos cannot sustain blessing. Disorder cannot maintain growth. You are being invited to rise into responsibility. There is also a test of patience in this phase. You might be tempted to force movement because you now see clearly. But clarity does not mean rush. Timing is everything. A door opened too early can be just as damaging as a door opened too late. Watch for divine timing signals. Repeated confirmations. Vis a resist. Opportunities that align naturally instead of requiring manipulation. When God opens a door, it will not demand that you compromise your integrity to walk through it. Emotionally, you may feel moments of loneliness. That is natural when you outgrow old environments. But loneliness is temporary. Alignment is permanent. Soon, you will connect with individuals who understand your direction without long explanations. There is also a financial blessing connected to this transition. It may begin small, almost unnoticeable. A side opportunity, a new idea, a collaboration. Do not dismiss small beginnings. Many large harvests start with a single seed. However, guard against comparison. Someone else's timeline is not your measure. Focus on your assignment. The more you compare, the more distracted you become. The more focused you remain, the faster clarity turns into manifestation. You are being trained to trust your inner instruction quickly. In the coming days, you may feel nudges to decline certain offers or accept unexpected ones. Do not ignore those nudges. Discernment is your compass. And here is something profound. The shock that was promised is still unfolding. Exposure was only the first layer. The second layer will involve realization. You will suddenly understand why certain events from your past happened the way they did. Connections will form in your mind. Patterns will make sense. Instead of resentment, you will feel relief. Relief that you were protected from deeper entanglement. Relief that delays saved you from misalignment. Relief that what felt like loss was actually divine interruption. This realization will free you emotionally. And once you are emotionally free, you become unstoppable. The door is closer now than it has ever been. But you must step into it as the refined version of yourself, not the wounded one. That is why this preparation matters. Take this time seriously. Strengthen your prayer life. Guard your thoughts. Speak positively about your future even when details are not visible. Words shape atmosphere. There is a breakthrough connected to your consistency. Not dramatic effort. Not occasional intensity. Consistency. Wake up with intention. Move with discipline. Rest with trust. Soon, the silence will break. The pause will end. The arrow will release. And when it does, you will realize that every moment of waiting was building momentum for a launch that could not be stopped. Steady heart. What you are feeling now is the pressure of transition turning into movement. The stillness that once surrounded you is beginning to vibrate with quiet activity. Things are aligning behind scenes you cannot see yet. Conversations are happening about you in rooms you have never entered. Opportunities are being discussed with your name attached, even before you officially step into them. God is saying that this is the moment where faith must become action. Not vivisection, not emotional reaction, but intentional movement. You have spent seasons learning, observing, feeling, discerning. Now you must begin applying. There is a difference between waiting on God and hiding behind delay. Waiting builds strength. Hiding preserves fear. You are no longer hiding. You may notice that ideas are coming to you more frequently. Creative thoughts. Business concepts. Solutions to problems that once felt complicated. Write them down. Do not dismiss them. Inspiration is often instruction in disguise. Archangel Michael represents courage under divine authority. And courage is what you need right now. Not loud bravery, but internal boldness. The kind that allows you to send that email, make that call, submit that application, start that project. Small steps, but powerful ones. There is also an urgency in the spirit. Not pack, but momentum. The door mentioned earlier is no longer distant. It is within reach. But here is the truth. Doors respond to those who approach them. If you remain seated, staring at it, nothing changes. If you rise and move toward it, alignment accelerates. You may feel resistance as you take these steps. Old doubts whispering. Past failures replaying in your mind. That is normal. Growth always confronts memory. But memory does not dictate destiny. You are not who you were when you last tried. You are wiser now. Stronger. More discerning. What failed before taught you how to succeed differently this time. Financially, this is a season to be alert and disciplined. Manage resources wisely. Avoid unnecessary risk. But do not operate from fear either. Strategic investment in your growth is not waste. It is preparation. Relationally, you may feel prompted to distance yourself further from certain influences. Do not feel obligated to explain every shift. Silence is sometimes the most powerful boundary. And let me speak clearly about something important. This message is not reaching you by accident. If it is strengthening you, if it is clarifying your direction, then interact with it. Like this video so it continues to reach those standing at similar crossroads. Share it with someone who needs confirmation in their own transition. Write in the comments what step you feel led to take next. Your declaration strengthens your commitment. If you have not subscribed, do it now and become part of this movement of faith and clarity. Join the membership if you feel called to stand closer to this mission. When you engage, you are not supporting a platform alone. You are helping spread a word that lifts people out of confusion and into courage. Your action matters more than you realize, because what is coming next will require community. Not dependency, but alignment. You are entering a level where isolation will not serve you. Divine connections are forming, and your obedience now positions you to recognize them when they appear. There will be a conversation soon that feels different from the rest. It will not drain you. It will energize you. It will not confuse you. It will clarify direction. Pay attention to that interaction. It may be the bridge between where you are and where you are called to be. At the same time, expect a final attempt from something in your past to regain attention. This could be an old opportunity resurfacing or a familiar pattern, trying to repeat itself. Do not be flattered by what once ignored you. Evaluate everything through your new standards. You have raised the bar. Do not lower it because something feels familiar. Spiritually, your sensitivity is increasing. Trust that. When you feel peace, move. When you feel heaviness, pause. You no longer need dramatic signs. Subtle confirmation is enough. This is where momentum builds. One obedient step leads to another. One act of courage unlocks the next instruction. Soon, you will look back at this period and realize it was the turning point. But do not disconnect now. What unfolds next ties everything together in a way that will make you grateful you kept listening. The clarity is about to merge with opportunity, and when it does, you will understand why the timing had to be exact. Chosen vessel, the movement has begun, and now you are starting to see evidence that something real is taking shape. What once felt like preparation now feels like unfolding. Small confirmations are appearing. Subtle alignments are forming. The spiritual pressure you sensed earlier is turning into visible motion. God is saying that this is the stage where confidence must stabilize. When results begin to show, the temptation is to either rush ahead too quickly or hesitate out of disbelief. You may think, is this really happening? Is this finally my moment? And that disbelief can cause you to shrink back. Do not shrink. You have prayed for this. You have endured for this. You have been refined for this. There is a conversation approaching that will mark a clear turning point. It will not necessarily look dramatic from the outside, but internally, you will feel the shift. Words will be spoken that confirm your new direction. An offer may be presented. An invitation may be extended. Or clarity about your next step will become undeniable. When that moment arrives, remember who you are now. You are no longer operating from insecurity. You are not desperate for approval. You are aligned with purpose. Archangel Michael symbolizes the courage to stand firm when destiny approaches. Because sometimes the greatest test is not surviving difficulty. It is sustaining blessing. When doors open, responsibility increases. Visibility increases. Expectations increase. You are ready for that wait. But there is still one final internal adjustment. You must release the fear of outgrowing people. This fear has quietly limited you before. You dimmed your light to maintain connection. You minimized your ambition to avoid intimidating others. You delayed your growth to preserve comfort. That cycle ends here. The shock that was mentioned earlier continues to unfold, but now it takes a different form. Instead of exposure, it becomes realization. You will realize how much you have changed. You will notice that situations that once overwhelmed you now feel manageable. Conversations that once intimidated you now feel equal. Growth is not always loud. Sometimes it reveals itself in calm reactions where chaos once ruled. There may also be a moment where someone acknowledges your progress. They may say they see something different in you. Accept that recognition humbly. Do not deflect it. Do not downplay it. Growth deserves acknowledgement. Financial doors may begin to open more clearly now. A project that generates income. A collaboration that expands your reach. A strategy that increases stability. Manage these blessings wisely. Do not inflate your lifestyle prematurely. Sustainability matters more than speed. Emotionally, you are entering steadiness. The waves that once tossed you around are calming. You are thinking clearly. You are sleeping better. You are no longer obsessing over what was revealed. Instead, you are focused on what is ahead. This is maturity. There will be moments of testing still. A slight delay. A minor misunderstanding. A brief obstacle. But these will not shake you like before. They are simply confirmations that you are walking through real terrain, not illusion. And here is something important. Do not forget gratitude. When breakthrough begins, it is easy to focus only on what is next. But gratitude anchors blessing. Pause and thank God for how far you have come. Thank Him for the exposure that protected you. Thank Him for the delay that prepared you. Thank Him for the courage rising within you. Gratitude keeps your spirit aligned. There is also an internal healing happening. A wound that once made you question your worth is closing. You are no longer seeking validation from the very places that wounded you. That is powerful. As momentum builds, protect your time more fiercely. Not every request deserves your energy. Not every opportunity deserves your attention. Evaluate based on alignment, not flattery. The door that is opening is not temporary. It is connected to a long-term shift. This is not a short blessing. It is a new chapter. And as you step further into it, you will realize that the warning not to share prematurely was wisdom. Some victories are best revealed after they are secured. Some transitions are safest when completed quietly. Very soon, you will feel a sense of arrival. Not perfection, not completion, but alignment. The feeling that you are finally standing where you are supposed to be. And when that realization settles in your spirit, you will understand that every moment of tension, every season of silence, every shock and exposure was guiding you to this exact place. Radiant soul, what is happening now is bigger than a single opportunity or a single revelation. You are stepping into a season of confirmation. Not hope, not assumption. Confirmation. The internal shift you experienced is now aligning with external evidence. This is where faith meets manifestation. God is saying that the door you sensed is no longer just opening. It is open. The hesitation you once felt has been replaced with readiness. The confusion that clouded your vision has been replaced with precision. You are seeing clearly, and you are moving differently. There is a noticeable change in how people respond to you. Some will treat you with new respect. Others may feel unsettled by your growth. You not adjust yourself to make others comfortable with your elevation. You prayed for expansion. Expansion changes dynamics. Archangel Michael symbolizes divine authority, and authority is settling upon you. Not authority to dominate, but authority to lead your own life with confidence. You are no longer asking permission to pursue what aligns with your calling. You are no longer explaining your decisions excessively. You are acting with quiet assurance. There is also a financial shift solidifying now. What once felt unstable is beginning to stabilize. What once felt uncertain is beginning to take shape. This may come through a new contract, a consistent income stream, or a strategic partnership. Receive it with gratitude, but also with discipline. Prosperity must be stewarded carefully. Emotionally, you are lighter. The weight you carried from past disappointments has lifted. You no longer replay the betrayal. You no longer obsess over the delay. You understand now that those moments redirected you. What you once thought was a closed door was actually a protective barrier. There may be one final confirmation that arrives unexpectedly. A message from someone acknowledging truth. An apology that validates your intuition. An opportunity that feels perfectly timed. When it arrives, you will not be shocked in fear. You will be shocked in relief. Relief that you trust in God. Relief that you did not expose your plans prematurely. Relief that you endured the quiet preparation. This is the fulfillment of the warning you received at the beginning. The 7-minute window was not about urgency alone. It was about obedience. You listen. You move carefully. You protected your energy. And now, the fruit is visible. But remember, elevation comes with responsibility. Stay humble. Stay discerning. Stay consistent. Do not allow success to disconnect you from the discipline that built you. There is a ripple effect connected to your obedience. Your family will benefit from your stability. Your circle will witness your growth. Someone watching your journey will find courage for their own. Your breakthrough is not isolated. It carries influence. Guard your private life fiercely. Not everything needs to be displayed. Not every blessing needs to be announced immediately. Let results speak. Let consistency prove. Let peace confirm. Spiritually, you are entering deeper alignment. Your prayers feel different now. They are not desperate. They are confident. You are no longer begging for signs. You are thanking God for direction. And now, seal this season with agreement. Type "I walk through the open door" in the comments if you receive this confirmation. Blessing code 818 is now released over your life. As this code activates, may every open door remain protected. May every opportunity align with purpose. May every step you take be covered in peace and precision. And as you stand in this manifested season, hear this extension clearly. The same way a door opened for you because you obeyed, there are countless souls still standing outside their own doors, waiting for clarity. When you release a super thanks, join the membership, or sow through the PayPal link in the description, you are not giving to a channel. You are placing seed into fertile soil that produces transformation in lives you may never meet. God says, as you water others, you yourself will be watered. This is not symbolic. It is spiritual law. I declare this boldly. I am choosing to be part of spreading this light. When you sow, you ignite. When you give, you accelerate the mission. This is a prophetic act, not a casual donation. You not delay obedience. As you release your seed, may provision chase you. May favor surround you. May open heavens respond to your generosity. Step forward in faith. Support the mission. Activate the next harvest. Steadfast one, now that the door has opened and confirmation has settled into your spirit, you are entering a phase that many people misunderstand. This is the phase of maintenance. Breakthrough is powerful, but sustaining breakthrough requires awareness, discipline, and continued alignment. God is saying that what has begun in your life must now be protected with consistency. The excitement of new opportunity can sometimes create carelessness. You may feel invincible because things are finally working in your favor. But remember, wisdom built this season. Wisdom must guard it. There is a rhythm forming in your life. A new daily structure. A clear routine. Pay attention to this rhythm. It is not random. It is shaping your capacity. When blessing increases, capacity must increase with it. If not, overflow becomes overwhelm. Archangel Michael represents vigilant protection, and vigilance is necessary now. Not fear, not suspicion, but awareness. As you grow, new connections will form. Some are divine assignments. Others are temporary alignments. Discernment remains your greatest asset. You may begin receiving invitations that you once would have dreamed about. Opportunities to collaborate, expand, travel, or lead. Evaluate each one carefully. Ask yourself whether it aligns with the clarity you fought to gain. Expansion should not compromise integrity. There is also a test of humility in this phase. Recognition may come. Compliments may increase. People who once overlooked you may now seek your attention. Accept honor graciously, but do not let it redefine your identity. Your worth was never based on public acknowledgement. It was established in private obedience. Emotionally, you are stronger than ever. Situations that once would have triggered insecurity now barely move you. This is evidence of healing. Do not ignore it. Celebrate it quietly. However, there may be moments where old fears attempt to whisper again. Thoughts like, what if this doesn't last? Or what if I lose this? Those thoughts are echoes of past instability. They are not prophecy. Replace them with truth. What God establishes through obedience is sustained through faithfulness. Financially, growth must be matched with stewardship. Save wisely. Invest thoughtfully. Avoid impulsive decisions that are driven by excitement rather than strategy. Stability now secures freedom later. Relationally, You may notice a refining of your circle. Some people will naturally drift away because your paths no longer align. Do not chase what is exiting. Let transitions happen peacefully. The right connections will remain without force. There is also a deeper spiritual development happening. Your prayers are becoming more focused. You are no longer asking vague requests. You are declaring specific intentions. That specificity reflects maturity. You know what you want. You know what aligns. You know what must be avoided. Be cautious not to overextend yourself. When doors open, the temptation is to say yes to everything. But exhaustion can quietly erode blessing. Balance ambition with rest. Strength is preserved through rhythm. You are also stepping into influence. Whether you realize it or not, someone is watching how you handle this season. They are learning from your composure. They are observing your boundaries. They are drawing courage from your steadiness. Lead well. The shock that once felt intense has transformed into wisdom. The exposure that once unsettled you has become clarity that anchors you. The warning that once felt urgent has proven accurate. And now you see why silence was necessary. If you had spoken prematurely, distraction could have delayed this peace. There may still be minor adjustments ahead. Small course corrections. Slight changes in direction. But they will not feel chaotic. They will feel like refinement. Remember this. Sustainability is built in daily choices. Wake up with gratitude. Move with discipline. Speak with intention. Rest with trust. The door that opened is not fragile. It is solid, but it responds to stewardship. Continue protecting your focus. Continue guarding your energy. Continue choosing alignment over approval. Soon another layer of expansion will approach. Not as dramatic as the first, but deeper, more rooted, more stable. And when it arrives, you will be ready because you did not waste this phase. You are no longer in survival mode. You are in stewardship mode. And that shift changes everything. Hold this position firmly. What you build now will define the next chapter far more than the breakthrough itself. Faithful warrior, you are now standing in a place that once felt impossible. Not because everything is perfect, but because you are no longer the same person who first heard the warning. The urgency that began this journey has transformed into authority. You are not reacting anymore. You are leading your own steps. God is saying that this is the season where influence expands quietly. You may not notice it immediately, but your decisions are creating ripple effects. The discipline you practice daily is shaping outcomes months ahead. The boundaries you established are protecting opportunities you have not yet seen. There is a strengthening happening in your voice. When you speak now, there is weight behind your words. Not loudness and not force, but conviction. People are beginning to listen differently. They sense clarity in you. They sense stability. Archangel Michael symbolizes standing firm in truth, and you are doing exactly that. You are no longer negotiating your values to fit into spaces. You are not shrinking to make others comfortable. You are walking in alignment, even when it means standing alone temporarily. There may be moments in this phase where you feel tested again, but the tests are lighter. They are confirmations of your growth. An old trigger may appear, but you will respond calmly. A familiar temptation may surface, but you will decline with ease. That is transformation. Financially, expansion may begin to feel more consistent. Income may stabilize. New streams may develop. Continue to manage wisely. Avoid sudden lifestyle inflation. Stability builds legacy. Relationally, the circle around you is becoming more refined. Conversations are more meaningful. Connections are more purposeful. You are no longer tolerating shallow alignment. Depth matters to you now. This is also the time to give back from a place of strength, not out of obligation, but out of overflow. When you are steady, you can lift others without losing balance. But remember, you are not responsible for carrying everyone. Offer guidance, not rescue. If this message hath been walking with you from the beginning, and you feel the transformation unfolding in your own life, then engage with it fully. Like this video so it continues reaching those who need divine direction. Share it with someone standing at their own crossroads. Write in the comments how this journey has shifted your mindset. Your testimony may unlock courage in someone else. If you have not subscribed yet, do it now and become part of this growing faith movement. Join the membership if you feel called to stand closer to this mission. Your support strengthens the spread of clarity and hope. When you participate, you are helping extend this message beyond one screen into countless lives. Because what is unfolding next will require a community of steady hearts. Spiritually, you are entering a phase of deeper confidence. You no longer question whether God is guiding you. You see evidence. You feel alignment. You recognize peace as your compass. There is another door approaching, but this one feels different. It is not urgent like the first. It is expansive. It carries long-term impact. It may involve leadership, responsibility, or visibility on a larger scale. Do not fear it. You have been trained for this. The shock that once startled you has become wisdom that anchors you. The silence that once felt lonely has become strength that sustains you. A warning that once felt intense has proven protective. Now, your focus must remain steady. Avoid distraction. Avoid complacency. Success can quietly invite laziness if vigilance fades. Continue sharpening your skills. Continue strengthening your spirit. Continue guarding your time. You are building something that will outlast emotion. Something rooted in discipline and divine timing. There will be a moment soon where you look back and realize that the instruction not to share prematurely saved you from unnecessary interference. That silence preserved momentum. That obedience accelerated manifestation. And as you move forward from here, carry this lesson into every new season. Not every revelation needs an audience. Not every opportunity needs immediate announcement. Sometimes the most powerful moves are made quietly. Stay grounded. Stay grateful. Stay focused. What is ahead is not just another breakthrough. It is expansion with stability, influence with integrity, growth with peace. And as this next layer begins to reveal itself, you will understand that the 7-minute warning was never about fear. It was about preparation for purpose. Enduring soul, you have crossed a threshold that many sense, but few fully step into. The urgency that once pressed on your spirit has matured into awareness. A warning that once felt intense has now revealed its wisdom, and you are standing in a place of stability that did not come easily. God is saying that this stage is about legacy thinking. You are no longer making decisions only for immediate relief or short-term gain. You are thinking in seasons. You are planning in years. You are considering impact beyond yourself. That is elevation. The door that opened for you was not random favor. It was the result of refinement. And now you must guard what has been built with intentionality. Every habit you maintain, every boundary you protect, every disciplined action you repeat is reinforcing the foundation of your next chapter. Archangel Michael represents continued vigilance even after victory. Just because a battle has been won does not mean awareness can relax. Growth attracts attention. Stability invites expansion. As your life becomes more aligned, opportunities will multiply. But not every opportunity deserves your yes. Discernment remains essential. You may feel an increased sense of responsibility in this phase. People may look to you for guidance. Family members may lean on your stability. Colleagues may respect your clarity. Accept this influence with humility. Leadership is not about control. It is about consistency. There is also a deeper healing completing itself within you. The old narrative that said you were behind, overlooked, were unworthy has lost its voice. You are no longer operating from insecurity. You are rooted in identity. This identity shift changes everything. Financially, you are learning not just to earn, but to multiply. Wisdom about saving, investing, and structuring your resources will come more naturally. Seek knowledge where needed. Continue strengthening your understanding. Stability now creates freedom later. Relationally, your standards have permanently risen. You will not tolerate environments that drain your peace. You will not engage in conversations that compromise your integrity. This is not arrogance. It is alignment. There may be moments where you reflect on how far you have come and feel a quiet gratitude that almost overwhelms you. Allow that gratitude to flow. It anchors your spirit in humility and keeps pride from creeping in. Spiritually, your connection feels clearer. You are not chasing signs. You are recognizing patterns. You are not asking desperately for direction. You are walking confidently in it. However, there is still one more refinement ahead. A final confirmation that will solidify everything you have learned. It may appear as a challenge that tests your patience briefly, or an opportunity that requires courage to accept fully. When it comes, do not hesitate. You are prepared. Remember how this journey began. It began with urgency. It began with a warning not to delay. It began with instruction to guard your mouth and protect your energy. Those instructions were not temporary. They are principles for every season. Guard your focus. Protect your time. Move strategically. There is an expansion approaching that will stretch you in healthy ways. It may involve mentoring others, stepping into visible leadership, or building something that outlives you. Do not fear expansion. Stretching is evidence of growth. Your peace is your confirmation. If something disrupts your inner stability repeatedly, evaluate it carefully. If something strengthens your clarity consistently, lean into it boldly. You are no longer surviving. You are building. And what you build now will influence more than just your immediate circle. It will create ripple effects across generations. The discipline you model will teach others. The boundaries you enforce will inspire respect. The faith you demonstrate will encourage courage. This is maturity. The 7-minute warning has transformed into a lifelong principle. Act when instructed. Remain silent when necessary. Move with discernment. Trust divine timing. You are not waiting anymore. You are walking. Soon, everything that once felt uncertain will feel like distant memory, and you will stand firmly in a life that reflects obedience, courage, and wisdom. One final unveiling remains, and when it settles into your spirit, you will understand that every step of this journey was intentional. Beloved and chosen, this is the final unveiling, the moment where everything connects. The warning, the silence, the exposure, the door, the discipline, the stewardship, none of it was random. It was a divine sequence. And now you stand at the completion of that cycle. God is saying that the 7-minute urgency was never about fear. It was about awakening. You were being awakened to discernment, awakened to timing, Waken to the power of silence and the strength of obedience. What began as a shocking alert has become a stable transformation. Look at you now. You no longer react impulsively. You no longer chase validation. You no longer ignore your inner warning. You listen. You discern. You move with wisdom. The door that opened was real. The exposure that happened was necessary. The silence you maintained was strategic. And because you obeyed, interference was minimized. Distraction was reduced. Alignment was accelerated. Archangel Michael's symbolic presence throughout this journey represented protection and courage. Protection over what was forming. Courage to step forward when the moment came. And now that courage has become part of your character, you do not need constant reassurance anymore. You trust what you sense. There is a deep peace settling over your life now. Not the fragile peace that depends on perfect circumstances, but the steady peace that flows from alignment. You know who you are. You know what you will no longer tolerate. You know what direction you are walking in. This is completion. But completion is also commencement. One cycle closes, another begins. The next chapter will not start with shock. It will start with confidence. You will move differently now. You will speak more intentionally. You will choose relationships more carefully. You will guard your time more fiercely. And because of that, what you build from here will be stronger than anything before. There may still be challenges ahead. Growth never eliminates responsibility. But the difference is this: you are equipped. The version of you that stands here today is not the same one who first heard the warning. You have matured. You have learned that not every revelation needs to be shared immediately. You have learned that silence can protect destiny. You have learned that urgency can be divine preparation. And most importantly, you have learned to move when instructed. Now seal this journey with bold agreement. Type "I finish strong" and walk forward in the comments if you receive this completion. Blessing code 1207 is now activated over your life. As this code is released, may every unfinished cycle close with peace. May every open door remain established. May every lesson learned multiply into wisdom for the future. May your steps be guarded, your mind be clear, and your spirit remain steady. And now hear this final extension, because what God has done in your life through this message must continue reaching others who are still standing at their first warning. The same way heaven interrupted your scroll to awaken you, there are souls scrolling in silence right now, praying for clarity before their door closes. Scripture declares, "Cast your bread upon the waters, and after many days it will return to you." This is not ancient poetry. This is God speaking into your present moment. I declare this openly. I am stepping into partnership with this mission. When you release a super thanks, join the membership, or sow through the PayPal link in the description. You are not supporting a video. You are sending light into dark rooms. You are placing oil into lamps that are about to go out. You are becoming part of a spiritual rescue before doors close in other lives. This is not casual generosity. This is prophetic action. Do not delay obedience when your spirit feels the nudge. As you give, heaven records. As you sow, harvest responds. As you support, protection surrounds your household. May every seed you release return multiplied in favor, stability, and divine acceleration. May open heavens respond to your obedience. May provision pursue you as you choose to advance this work. Step forward now. Support the mission. Activate the next wave of awakening.